You were told to leave.
I'm here with my family, making memories. Come on! Tell your boss.
A family vacation was supposed to save Hutch Mansell's marriage. Instead, it ends with an amusement park in flames, a cartel operation wiped out, and the FBI trying to understand why this quiet suburban father keeps walking away from massacres. The truth is, Hutch really did try to do this the normal way. He just picked the wrong town. Before Plumberville, Hutch is still trapped between two lives.
Who the fuck are you two?
On the job, he chases a package through elevators, hallways, and gunfire, killing one armed crew after another to finish what should have been a simple snatch and grab. When he reports back, his handler Barber barely cares how ugly it got. The package is secured and Hutch's debt drops a little more. That debt has ruled his life ever since he burned money belonging to a Russian gangster. Now every mission is repayment. Every corpse lowers the number, but none of it repairs what is happening at home. Becca keeps waiting at the dinner table for a husband who never gets there on time. One night she almost texts him, "We need to talk," then stops herself. The next morning, Hutch is finally home long enough to feel how cold the house has become. So he makes a promise. Summer is coming, and they are going away together as a family. The idea comes from an ad he noticed during that bloody assignment, a faded amusement park called Plumberville. To everyone else, it looks cheap and forgettable. To Hutch, it looks like childhood. His father used to take him there, and for the first time in a long while, Hutch wants to build a memory instead of bury one. Even Grandpa David comes along. On the drive, the family almost feels normal again. The kids laugh. Music fills the car. Hutch watches them like a man trying to hold on to a life that keeps slipping every time he leaves for work. But the moment they arrive, the illusion starts breaking. The water park is closed. They are handed hot dog coupons instead. Hutch forces a smile and keeps everyone moving until he notices the local sheriff staring at him from the stand where he and his brother Harry used to eat as kids. Something is wrong with this town.
No, it's not polite to eyeball the law.
Did I do something wrong?
Did you?
In the arcade, Brady wins a pile of tickets and gives them to a group of girls nearby. It should be harmless. Instead, one of the girls' boyfriends turns it into a challenge, and Sammy gets dragged into the middle when her toy is ripped apart. Brady steps up. More boys move in. Hutch tries to calm it down before it spreads. Becca wants the family out right away, and for a second it looks like they might leave with nothing worse than a ruined afternoon. Then the arcade manager slaps Sammy on the head. Hutch turns back, walks inside, and the man his family keeps trying not to see finally comes out. He drops one attacker after another with brutal precision, tearing through the room so fast that nobody has time to understand what they are watching. The police drag the whole family in for questioning. Brady thinks what his father did was incredible. Becca knows it was a warning. In the sheriff's office, Hutch meets Wyatt, the real power in town. The boy from the arcade is Wyatt's son, Max, and Brady hurt the kid's pitching arm during the fight. Hutch calmly tells Wyatt the truth. "One of those men hit my daughter. If you were me, what would you have done?" Wyatt lets him go, but the sheriff's silence says the trouble is just starting.
Get the boys together. Get rid of them.
Back at the hotel, Becca confronts Hutch and checks his bag, expecting weapons. Instead, she finds a bottle of wine from the place they first met. For one brief moment, the anger softens. Then the quiet returns.
I know who you were the moment I met you. You were covered in blood.
The next day, Hutch notices a police officer secretly taking pictures of his family. Later, during a duckboat ride, that same officer appears again with a group of thugs. Hutch gets his family onto one boat, then boards another alone, pretending his stomach is upset. Once the boat is moving, the act drops. The officer warns Hutch one last time.
What's up, guys?
You were told to leave.
I'm here with my family.
And the attack begins. The fight is vicious and surreal. Tourists keep smiling at the scenery while Hutch smashes men into railings, trying to survive without turning the ride into total panic. Then one of the attackers cuts off his finger. It falls into the water and disappears inside a fish. They throw Hutch overboard, thinking he is finished. Seconds later, he climbs back onto the boat and destroys everyone there.
Tell your boss.
By the time he escapes, the message is clear. This town does not want his family gone politely. It wants them gone permanently. Hutch calls Harry and learns the ugly truth. Their father did not bring them to Plumberville for vacations. He brought them there for work.
Remember Plumberville?
One of the happiest weeks of my life.
Plumberville just isn't as friendly as I remember it to be.
Why you think Dad took us there for our one and only family vacation?
The town sits on an old trade route, and the local police have been tied to syndicates for years. Barber fills in the rest. Plumberville is controlled by a ruthless woman named Lendina.
Plumberville is critical to Lendina's larger empire. Operates unburdened by any constraints. Lendina and her squad will slay your family on the front lawn.
Ma'am, I swear I knew nothing.
Nobody cheats in my casino! I'm so sorry that you had to see that.
And she never forgives losses. Wyatt is trying to finish one last shipment for her so he can clear his family debt and walk away. Lendina has no intention of allowing that. To remind Wyatt who owns him, she has the sheriff kidnap his son, Max.
It was a pleasure to be of service, okay?
Hutch finds the sheriff with Max and the shipment in the same place. Gasoline, explosives, armed men, and enough money tied up in the deal to get everyone killed if anything goes wrong. Hutch gives him one chance. Leave my family alone, and I walk away. To prove he means it, he threatens to burn the shipment down where it sits. The sheriff agrees. Hutch turns to go. Then he sees Max looking at him, a kid realizing nobody is coming to save him. Hutch cannot ignore that look, so he goes back. The gunfight starts instantly. Bullets hit lamps. Sparks drop into spilled fuel. Fire races across the floor and ignites the explosives. Max survives, but the shipment disappears in a wall of flame. The moment Lendina hears what happened, Hutch stops being a local problem and becomes a target for extermination. Hutch gets his family to David's old lodge. Max ends up there too, and even he and Brady manage to bury their earlier fight. Becca does not. She looks Hutch in the eye and reminds him of the promise he made.
Becca, I'm not asking.
You were a lot of things. So go fix that shit.
So he goes to Wyatt. Wyatt attacks him at first, convinced Hutch destroyed everything. Hutch beats him back just long enough to explain that he saved Max. That changes the conversation. Wyatt reveals that Lendina murdered his father and kept the family trapped in permanent debt so she could own the town forever. Hutch looks around the empty amusement park and sees not rides but terrain, choke points, ambush lanes, and traps waiting to happen. Wyatt opens his weapons stash. Harry arrives to help. David arms up at the lodge. Hutch even releases a wolf dog from its cage.
A better man than you, believe it or not, are improvements on me.
By the time Lendina's convoy reaches town, Plumberville has become a battlefield. Lendina's first mistake is assuming fear still works. The sheriff tries to seize control at the last second, declaring that once Hutch and Wyatt are dead, the town will belong to him.
Walk in front of me back to the car, and maybe I'll get you out of this. All hell breaks loose.
Yeah,
we'll take that.
Yeah.
Lendina answers by having him shot where he stands. Then the traps begin. Explosions rip through the midway. Wyatt lures soldiers into kill zones and hidden charges. Hutch moves through the chaos like he designed it himself. In the mirror room, reflections turn every angle into a lie before he blows the place apart. Elsewhere, Wyatt draws another group into a ball pit seeded with landmines. Hutch sends a man flying down a water slide to his death.
Dad, cover me!
David cuts down attackers trying to reach the lodge. On the edge of town, Harry meets Lendina's best fighter and ends the duel in brutal fashion.
Asked me to challenge me. I took his head.
Inside the lodge, one soldier actually gets through. Brady is the one who stops him. In a single night, the boy who started this chain of violence with a fistfight learns exactly what kind of blood runs in his family. Eventually, the bodies thin out until almost nobody is left between Hutch and Lendina. She sends 2 final fighters at him, and for the first time all night, Hutch starts losing ground. He is hurt, tired, and slower now. Lendina steps closer and tells him he is about to lose everything. She would have if Wyatt had stayed down. Instead, he rises behind her and shoots both fighters dead. Lendina spins and buries a knife in Wyatt, dropping him instantly. Then she turns back toward Hutch. She never gets the chance to finish him. Becca steps in and fires a dart straight into Lendina's eye. The woman who refused to run is the one who ends the war.